What's up, sports world? This is the WTP Sports Dudes. I want to take Zay. I got my man SEC Sean in the building. What's up, Sean? How you doing this morning?
Doing good, doing good. Getting through another day. See what we can roll with today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. We back in action. This is Talking Sports Sunday, where we're gonna be talking about college basketball, Saturday result reactions, NBA playoff favorites, and more. All the channels of all the crew is scrolling down at the bottom. Well, furthermore, let's get right into it.
Look,
Hey, did you go ahead?
go ahead. What were we gonna say?
Oh, you got story time for us
Of
today?
course, it's Sunday. We
Let's
always got
go.
story.
Let's go.
So I went out with a buddy of mine, and there was a guy sitting at the bar, and he was just depressed looking, just sitting there staring at his glass of whiskey. And some dude comes in, big dude, just grabs his drink and chugs it. And we looked and we're like, "What is going on?" And the guy just started crying. And the big guy goes, "Man, I didn't mean to make you cry." Blah blah blah. He said, "What's going on? Are you okay?" He said, "Man, look, I came home and found my wife in bed with the postman. I was late for a meeting and got fired. Went to go leave after collecting all my personal stuff. My car was stolen." He said, "I stopped by a guy and bought this little capsule to just end it all. I was trying to get the courage. So I dropped the capsule in my drink and was watching the poison dissolve." And he said, "But enough about me. How's your day going?"
Oh man, that's a rough day, bro.
Well,
Oh man.
got to. Yep. Every Sunday, we're going to have story time for all you people watching.
Now that's a real story for real. Somebody that
Right.
happened to my last night. You hear me?
Right. Right. Yeah. Probably.
All right, but well, furthermore, man, let's get into this talk, man. Did you catch Houston and Arizona yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Kind of went as I mentioned. I figured it would play that way. Houston just was they near the end. Houston went like 8 minutes without making a shot. Um, and that's a credit to Arizona and their defense too. But some of those shots were wide open that Houston normally knocks down. I, I still think they're two of the best four teams in the country. Uh, Arizona made a pretty good statement coming off back-to-back losses to go into a rough environment of Houston and pull out the win. So I thought it played out pretty good. I think both teams might have learned a little bit more about themselves. I think Arizona was without one of their best players too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Call of Pete, he's still out.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought it was. So um, it was pretty entertaining game. Arizona, I think, did what I said they had to do. They had to start fast, and they did. They kind of jumped on Houston early because if Houston would have jumped out early, that crowd was going to get more and more into it. So I think Arizona did what they did, and I think they've reclaimed themselves as we're still here. We're one of the best, so we're still going to be a force to mess with. So
Yeah, man. I think Houston. I don't know. I don't think I see them as a Final Four team no more. I think they just too perimeter heavy. You know, even Chris Sinak, he be playing on that perimeter. I don't think they really got nobody they could throw it down to the block when they got if they had them spurts where they not scoring like they did yesterday, which could happen in the tournament when you see some of these really good defensive teams. I think that's going to be a problem uh, looking forward, man. You got to be able to throw the ball down to the block when you going 4 or 5 minutes without scoring, man. Uh, hey, and we got Melissa Graham in the building. What's up, Miller Graham? How you doing this morning?
Feeling real good after last night.
I bet you is, you Dookie. We see you dressed all up in your Dookie gear. Hey, but right now we getting our thoughts on Houston, Arizona. Was you able to catch any of the Houston, Arizona game?
Yeah, that was a really good game as well. I wasn't expecting Houston to struggle so much at home, but they just were a step behind. I felt like the whole game, even without Koa Pete playing for Arizona. Loco just came and lit everybody up last night. Well, yesterday.
Yeah, I was just telling Sean, I think Houston gonna run into some problems. They not really able to throw the ball down to the block when they going through them spurts. They don't really got nobody that can play with their back to the basket.
No, and Uzan and Sharp had a difficult game last night too, which was weird.
Yeah.
And Arizona was playing; they were playing small. I mean, the first time all year they've really kind of played small. I forget who was calling the game. I want to say it was Fran Francella and maybe Booger or maybe Boog too. But they kept talking about how they're going to have to play small sometimes in these first few rounds of a game because they're going to have to match down to some of these, 13 through 15 seeds that they're going to play the first couple of rounds. So it was good to see Arizona actually do it. I love Tommy Lloyd. I think he's a great coach. But it was interesting to see Kelvin Sampson's squad struggle at home.
Yeah. Listen, out of all the teams in college basketball, I still think Arizona might clip that number 1 overall seed with their resume, bro. They got the most quality wins in the country.
I mean, it's close. It can be there. I think Michigan still actually has a chance to be the number 1 overall.
Y'all got anything else to add to that topic?
No, I'm just glad to see that Melissa didn't wind up killing you like we thought she was last week.
I dipped and dodged her, bro.
Oh, okay.
He was scared. Threats were made on Friday when I saw him. Don't worry.
Hey, I just made sure I was always around the camera, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't blame you.
Stopped me.
That would have stopped you. That you already know that's what stopped you. But let's go ahead and get onto the topic of your Dookies, Milligram. You go last. Sean, what did you see from this game?
Well, I'm gonna be the first to admit I had this game pegged exactly wrong. I thought Michigan was going to exploit some issues with Duke, and it just didn't play out. I give tons of credit to Duke for that game. I had Michigan winning that game by 10. But I give tons of credit to Duke the way they came out, and they played with them, and I don't really know else what to say about the game. I mean, I was thoroughly impressed with the way Duke looked. I just knew I had some questions about Duke on their defensive focus in previous games. That seems to have worked out. I think I saw a stat yesterday that Duke and Michigan are the number 1 and 2 defensive efficiency teams in the nation.
Yeah.
And for the questions I had about Duke's defense earlier in the year, that kind of took me by surprise. So if Duke's got the defense fixed, Duke's really, really scary. Still think Michigan. I mean, I still think Michigan, Houston, Arizona, Duke. I think they're still your top 4. I do agree with you, Zay, on Houston's post presence. I think that needs to get something figured out down there before the tournament starts. But I still think those are the if you made me pick my final 4 right now, I'm probably picking those 4. Maybe I remove Houston and throw Florida in because Florida just looks nasty right now. But other than that, really impressive with the way Duke came out and played that game. I really thought Michigan was going to dominate that game. But props, give them credit.
Yeah, I think Duke found the blueprint to Michigan yesterday. They kept them out of transition for real. I thought that was one of the keys to the game, and they hit the boards. They hit the boards with them big boys. So I feel like if you keep Michigan out of transition and you can beat them on the boards, you can get them now. But I will say this though, man, Michigan missed a lot of shots at the rim yesterday. And I'm like, man, y'all some big dudes, bro. Y'all gotta finish some of these easy ones. And I thought that was really the difference in the game. That the fact that they was kept out of transition and that they was missing shots at the rim. But I'll say this too, Milligram. I am not a Cam Boozer guy. Like I think he is a great college basketball player. I do not think his game is going to transition to the pros. But he fighting for that number 1 pick. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Hey, he took over the game at the end of the game yesterday. and that's what you look for in your top pick. So Duke got mega talent on that roster. I think they're a really good coach team too. I think Shire, he's a good coach, so they're gonna have a chance as well, just like anybody else. That's ranked in that top 10 to me. I think it's really wide open. Sean, you said who you thought was gonna make the Final Four. I think it's like 7 or 8 teams that can make the Final Four this year.
Is it my turn?
Yes, ma'am.
Here we go. The exact opposite, kind of like what Sean said, happened to what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to get our bigs in foul trouble early, and getting 3 quick fouls on Mara was huge for us. I think that Pat Gangba tweaked his wrist again. He's had some wrist issues all year. Wasn't playing as much as I wanted him to play when Mara was out the last 7 to 8 minutes of the first quarter. I was screaming to get people down low, like get Cam down low, get Pat down low, get Leak down low, somebody. Like we needed to take advantage of that. And we didn't. When we went in with that lead at halftime, still, we could have been up probably 10 or 12 at half if we exploited Mara being out, and we just didn't do it. I know that Isaiah Evans gets the green light to shoot threes, but I just need Little Love to understand that every time you touch the ball, you don't need to chuck up a three, because he was like 1 of 527 yesterday. It felt like, and I think ESPN actually got it wrong at half. They said we were 7 of 10 for free throws. I think we were 3 of 10. When I went back and looked, I think they messed that stat up a little bit, because I was like, they're naming off people who missed free throws, and I was like, we didn't make 7. But getting Mara in foul trouble early really helped us, I think. And then we kind of just didn't look back. And we're going to go as far as Cam Boozer can take us. And I've said that from the beginning of the year. As far as Cam can carry us, that's where we'll go. Dame locked down Elliot Cadeau, and Duke has made Elliot Cadeau his bitch every time we've played. And it's fantastic to see, because I can't wait for his mama to start tweeting Duke people again like she did last year at UNC. But we shut him down. Dame did a great job on him defensively, and when Caleb was on him, he did a great job defensively on him. They kept talking about his no-look passes. Great, he's not scoring. Like, you keep talking about his 40% from 3. He didn't make his first shot till like 4 minutes to go in the second half. He did get to the line a couple of times. We shut down Yaxel Lindenberg in the second half completely. I think he scored 16 to 18 points in the first half, maybe 6 or 7 in the second half. Which again, I really expected their bigs to get our bigs in foul trouble. And our bigs did a great job of staying out of foul trouble. There towards the end, we did a really great job of keeping Mara out of the paint and rolling somebody else down, keeping, Pat up doing some ball screens. But it was a fantastic game. I wish some more shots would have gone down. I wish we could have had a bigger lead at half, just because of the situation that we were in with Mara sitting on the bench for 8 minutes at the end. Coach of the Year talk, John Shire is not in any Coach of the Year discussions. You got people like Bill Self, who's, got embarrassed by Cincinnati yesterday, with Peterson playing 32 minutes. That's the most minutes he's played, I think, in 2 games combined. And so, like last week, he only played 18 minutes against Oklahoma State. And then you're playing 32 minutes against Cincinnati, and you still get beat by 20 at home, or almost by 20. I was really proud of Nick Hemenia yesterday. He gave us huge minutes on the defensive end as well. And they always talk about, on game day, they're talking about 50-50 balls. Duke's going to get those 50-50 balls 98% of the time. I mean, we had kids all over the place on the floor last night digging for those 50-50 balls, and I think that's kind of what helped us as well. So I was really proud of him. So proud of John and the staff. He did a really great job of preparing us and calling a decent game. There's times I've been a little bit critical of them, and I think I said last week, of letting them play so freely too often, where maybe we need to calm down and call a set and get ourselves organized. I think last night was probably the best of that I've seen. Playing Duke has always played in February a neutral court game, non-conference game. And I think this right here is why. I think hopefully we'll see some more of those non-conference neutral site games late February. mid to late February from some other people and see atmospheres like that. It was a hell of a game from start to finish. And my dad texted me right before and he said, "How are you feeling?" I said, "I want to throw up." And, so we're calling after timeouts and things like that. And just by the end of the game, I was like, wow, we really did this. Like it could have gone either way. And it could have been Duke losing by 5. It could have been Duke losing by 20. We've seen Michigan go on a heater and just blow teams out before. But our defense was really good.
Let's check out Donnell's comment right now. What's up, Donnell? How you doing? He said them refs gave Duke that game with 2 crucial calls at critical times, like that travel when Michigan player dove for the ball and the one on Michigan center when he had to sit out. Listen, reffing is reffing, man. It ain't never gonna be perfect. I didn't think the game was reffed good yesterday. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible or awful, but it wasn't a good ref game. It was somewhere mediocre area. So, man, listen, you have multiple opportunities in that game. If you Michigan, they missed a lot of open shots yesterday too. Can we talk about how many open shots they missed? I thought really Lindenberg, he played well, but he even missed some crucial shots towards the end of that game where he was just wide open. So, we could throw the refs in there. Refs is always going to be a problem, though, like in sports. It's a man. It's men. You feel a man person, or a woman. You feel me? So, we always going to have some missed calls in the game. It was some crucial calls, but I feel like Michigan could have won that game regardless of the reffing yesterday.
Well, and when you have the ball and you slide across the floor for 4 feet, that is in traveling. And there were a couple of calls that the players wanted Dusty May to challenge and would have gone Michigan's way, and Dusty May didn't challenge. So cry more and play better and win the game next time.
Well, I will say there was a play also that Boozer dove for the ball and slid across, and it wasn't called traveling. So see, that rule is iffy to me. What is and what isn't? How far is there like a measurement? Do you have to slide 3 foot or 4 foot? Or if it's under that, is it? So the one play that I thought, if you want to say anything, and it was reviewed, was the Mara block in the second half. And Michigan was kind of on a run, and they called goaltending. And I still think that was the wrong call. I think that was a good block. Yeah. I don't think that ball was on its way down yet. However, calls are going to be missed, and it was reviewed. If you're going to trust in the review process, you got to let it play out. And that's what they said. That was that. It's not like the ref said, no, we believe what we said was right. They went to the monitor, they looked at it, and they still said, nope, ball was starting to come down. Okay.
And the only person on the crew I knew was Roger. Were the other 2 officials Big Ten officials?
I don't know who the crew was.
Roger Ayers and then 2 other guys I hadn't heard of before.
The only crews I know of are like football crews, and that's normally because I know the SEC crews are garbage.
Yeah. Well, and Roger Ayers is going to call shit calls whoever he's calling for. So, again, if you want to win the game, play offense and play defense and make shots. And we played better defense and we made more shots.
Yeah. I'm about to say Michigan. Yeah, Michigan was 6 for 25 from 3. It felt like way worse than that too, though. It felt like that just watching the game that because they wasn't making no shots for real, and that's kind of surprising because this is a good shooting Michigan team.
Here's with you hear about Michigan size with Mara and all that stuff. Duke out rebounded them 41-28.
Yeah.
And 13 of those were offensive.
Mm-hmm.
There's your game right there. Where's the big part? They out rebounded them on the offense 13-8. There's your game difference. That's 5 more possessions for Duke. And then you got to look in where they at the end of the shot clock, Duke shoots, ball bounces, they get a rebound, they get another 20 seconds. Did they extend defensive possessions for Michigan to wear them out more? So you have to look at all that. But for Michigan to be out rebounded by 13 is pretty impressive from Duke.
Oh yeah, and our guards did a really good job of getting the balls, of getting some rebounds too.
Yeah. So listen, Milligram. I'm glad you mentioned your guards because I thought K and Boozer came in and gave y'all valuable minutes. I felt like the offense was still flowing when he was out there, and I think Dame Star and his defense was a real key in this game too. You know, he can guard 1 through 5 for real. So I like those two guys. All right, y'all got anything else to add to this?
After these two games, you know, think they played out except for one. I went 1-1 on my picks between them, but out of those two games, 50% seems pretty good with you considering who was playing.
Yeah. All right, which team or player had the most impressive
I
performance
can't hear you,
this
Zay.
week? Yeah. Can you hear me, Sean?
I can hear you.
You got to go out. That's why or something. See, can you hear me now? Leave out, and come back in.
Yeah, leave completely and try to come back in.
Yeah. Hey, but which team or player had the most impressive performance this weekend thus far for you, Sean?
Well, team, I mean, I'm not going to use this team because we've already talked about it, but I would say Arizona going on the road to Houston was the most impressive performance. But we've already touched on them and the Duke, Michigan. So to be honest with you, I'm going to be that homer, and I'm going to say Florida. Just the way they're dominating teams. They're not even being close games. They're beating teams by 20, 25. You might have to give some love to a Cincinnati. What they did going into Kansas and just destroying Kansas. There's a few teams. Didn't really see any crazy, like Tuesday and Wednesday midweek. We had some crazy individual performances.
Yeah, Darius.
Acuff, Phylon went for 36. Hubbard at Mississippi State went for 42. I mean, they went nuts. But so I'd have to go with the team. And like I said, Florida, my teams that were impressive. How about UCLA knocking off Illinois?
Yeah.
Overtime.
Yeah. That actually, according to Joe Lunardi, knocked Missouri into the first four, where they have to play in the first four. And UCLA is now in. So still a little bit to go. But like I said, Florida to me is the most impressive team right now. I think they're playing insane basketball right now.
I would agree. Florida is on fire right now. It'll be interesting how the SEC tournament plays out for them, because I think there's 2 or 3 teams right now that can take that title. But you mentioned Acuff, and he might be the best guard I've seen in the country right now. And unfortunately, he's not getting a ton of help around him because of some injuries and things like that happening right now. But my God, is he a good basketball player?
Yeah, man. Listen, so AJ nearly had a triple double last night. I gotta give that some credit. You ain't really catching a lot of triple doubles in the college game. He was, I think, 1 assist away from, or 1 rebound, one or the other, away from a triple double. And that's right off a 35-point game that he had on Wednesday, I believe, or Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday. So he catching the heater right now too. But as far as whole teams, man, I'm gonna have to give it to that UCLA team, because that's an Illinois team that I think could make the Final Four. So to come out with a victory on your home court, that's gonna probably push you right into the bracketology of being one of the first teams in. That was a big time win. I wish my Buckeyes would get a win like that, because we need it. Lord knows we're desperate for one. So I got to give that honor to UCLA.
I got to give a little love to, I mean, I know it was K-State, who's not real good, but Texas Tech putting 100 on K-State without Toppin. I mean, Texas Tech's still talented, but that's beating a team by 28 when your best player is out for the year now. It's a pretty good look as to what you've built as a team, in other words, not just like, I mean, even with Peterson playing Kansas, who are they? Do we really know whether he's there or not? We just don't know how good they are. But Tech loses their best player, and they just roll on. Now, I agree, Kansas State is not the greatest basketball team this year, but still impressive to me.
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
really forgot that BYU played last night. I forgot that game was on. I went to bed.
Yeah, I fell asleep obviously because I'm old and my game wore me out. But I think a team that kind of has impressed me recently and might be a sleeper is St. John's.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked last week about the Big East and how the conference as a whole is not very good. But the way they beat Creighton, they've got UConn coming up. It's going to be St. John's and UConn in the final of that tournament as well. And I think whoever comes out of that conference tournament as the winner might have a run in them that is going to surprise a lot of people. St. John's is just athletic. And I mean, obviously we all know that Cal can coach, or Patino can coach, but they were fun to watch yesterday. So that's kind of a team I'm kind of quietly keeping an eye on as well.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a hell of a ball club, and we know Samson can coach too as well. Hey, y'all got anything else to add about the college basketball world before we switch over to the unrivaled basketball games?
You know who's not really getting talked about anymore since they've lost a game or two? Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not hearing anything about Nebraska since they're not undefeated anymore. And
they're just quietly sitting around that 2 or 3 seed right now.
Right. They're just, and if I'm a Nebraska, that's where, hey, fine, leave us out. Don't talk about us. We're good. So I was just like, you know what? I haven't heard about Nebraska since they lost a couple times. So
yeah,
still sitting in the top 10 though. So, yep.
All right. Have y'all been able to catch any of the women's unrivaled basketball games? And if you have, can we get your thoughts?
Haven't watched, didn't even know what was going on, to be honest with you.
I mean, anything I've seen has been on social media, but
yeah, I listen. I just came across a game yesterday, and it's real similar to the Big Three, of course. A little bit different in the type of rules, but sometimes the games get it. Like the game I watched yesterday, the game got up to the 90s, so it was like a whole game instead of just like sections, But man, I'm telling you, I think that thing is better than the WNBA. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's a better product than the WNBA. And after I watched it, I got on YouTube because I didn't know what was going on until I came across the game yesterday. And I seen that they basically had like a little all-star event where they had a one-on-one basketball tournament and the winner received $200,000. And this happened like a week and a half ago.
Wasn't that Chelsea Gray?
You said what now?
I think Chelsea Gray won, didn't she?
Yeah, Chelsea Gray beat Alicia Gray. So I'm like, I watched it and I'm like, man, this thing is dynamite. Like, how did I not hear about this when this was going on? Because really, it looked real exciting. And now I'm talking about you got different matchups that I think a lot of people be interested in seeing, especially if the men's All-Star Weekend adopted it. You got Paige Beckers out there going against Kate Martin, so it's like you getting your stars, you getting people that people actually want to see, and with the money on the line, 200,000, second place got 50,000. They playing hard. So I thought that was a real interesting thing that I seen about the unrivaled league. I got to keep my eyes on it more.
And I'm sure that the pace of that game is fast compared to what you might typically see. Like, I can watch UConn, I can watch South Carolina, I can watch Tennessee women's, Ole Miss, because they move fast. I don't like to. I want to see a kind of a upbeat paced game in the women's game.
Yeah, it was fun. I think they condensed the court a little bit too, just because it's 3-on-3 and they going full court, and that's different than the big three. It's not full court. It's some other guys. So all these women are still professional. They're in the midst of their careers. So I think that's a part of the product that makes it better. All right, we can move on. Slide over to the NBA. With about 25 games left in the NBA, who are your favorites to make it out of the Eastern and Western Conference?
I'll jump on this, I guess, first here. I know I'm probably in the same boat. I remember Melissa mentioning a week ago or whatever, last time we were on together, that you're kind of like me. You're not a big NBA person. I'm just not. I mean, I'll keep up with some stuff, but it's not first on my watch list. I promise that. I think out of the West, you still got to go through Oklahoma City to get there. San Antonio looks pretty good too, though. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I think San Antonio's beaten the Thunder 3 times this year, maybe 4. So those are probably my 2 favorites, San Antonio and OKC. Out of the East, I still got to look at Boston with Tatum coming back and what's he look like. I mean, they're still sitting number 2 right now in the Eastern Conference. So you got to keep an eye on Boston, Detroit, which is kind of my shocking team for the year is Detroit. I expected Detroit to be better, but not quite this good. But I still think that Boston is the team to deal with, especially with Tatum coming back.
Can you imagine getting him back just in time for a playoff run and being well rested and 100% healed? Like, oof. And I just love Jason Tatum. Like, I don't have a dog in this fight at all. But if he comes back and he's 100% healthy and well rested, watch out.
I mean, I think at this point with what Boston's done, even Tatum at 75, 80% coming off the bench is just, you're bringing in a perennial NBA MVP candidate off the bench now. That's not going to be a good look for other teams in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, people was wondering if the Celtics was going to be any good the way they kind of rebuilt their roster before the season started after that injury happened. But yeah, man, I like Boston over there, but I would have to say my favorite it got to be Detroit. What I'm seeing from Cade, man, he just looked like he on another planet right now. So, and I think they got everything you need. They got some scoring, they got length, they got defenders, they got shooting, they got everything they need over there. So they got a tough guy, enforcer. So I just really don't see anybody beating Detroit out there. Now, I do think it's really still wide open. I think Boston can make it. I wouldn't even be surprised if I seen the Sixers make a run or the Cavs, just because the Sixers, when Embiid has been on the court of late, he's been looking like the old Joel Embiid. So if he could be that dominant force, there's nobody out there that can guard him in the East. So, and as the Cavs is, getting somebody like Harden, one of the best shooting guards of all time. I don't like him. I do not like playoff Harden, though. I think he chokes a lot. So I'm going to temper my expectations on the Cavs just because I know sometimes James can disappear in the playoffs. But, man, that Detroit team, you got the Thompson twin. I like everything they building over there. So I would roll with them out east. And the West, I'm with you, Sean. It's between the Spurs and OKC. And really, I wouldn't count out my Lakers, though, because I seen Luka go through the West before and drag a team to the finals. And the way he playing on the heater right now, and AR been balling since he came back, as long as we make it to the playoffs with relatively no health issues, I like our chances. We got big wings everywhere. We could play LeBron at the 5 with Vando, AR, Luka, and Rui, and switch everything. So I like our chances as well. But that Spurs team, man, they got. I mean, you got all them guards, and then you got Wemby. It's just kind of OD for real. So, it's gonna be interesting though because I think a lot of teams got enough talent to upset somebody in the first round. The playoffs, I'm locked in on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you. I could see the Lakers make a run. I've obviously, being a Mavericks fan, I've seen Luka do it. I've also seen Luka be Luka and go off for 50 one night and go off for 12 the next night with 9 turnovers. The same thing with Harden. That's why I don't pick Cleveland in there. I've seen Harden. You had said you've seen him disappear in the playoffs, and I'll be honest, there's sometimes Houston Rockets fans would have wished he disappeared versus playing when he comes out there and scores 2 points and has like 15 turnovers in a game. That's the Harden you can't have. So, but again, I don't have a dog in the fight. My team is terrible. We do have a Duke on the roster, Cooper. So,
Yeah, Kyrie.
Melissa. Yeah, Kyrie. He's sitting out the whole year. He's going to take the whole year off. They've already said he's not coming back at all. He's just going to wait to come back next year, which I think is the right decision, especially since that way they can tank even more and get a better draft pick.
You could have Cam, Coop, and Kai.
Yeah, good. Hitting on where the draft falls, I almost kind of think I'd like to. I mean, I know Kyrie's kind of getting towards the end or back end of his career. I'd kind of like to see him, if he falls there, pick up Acuff out of Arkansas, pair him with Cooper. I'd like that pick right there. So that's for a future show.
Hey, it's a lot of guys you could throw in Dallas, and it'll be interesting. Yeah. For real. That's how deep this draft is for real.
Yeah, that's what we had a discussion last night, and I know this is back to college real quick, but I was doing a chiming in with a buddy of mine, Drew, down in College Station, doing a watch along for the A&M Oklahoma basketball game. And we were talking about the kid from Indiana, Mackenzie Mbako. Who transferred to A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been out all year, injured. People were saying, does he come back next year or whatever? And I said, with the way this draft class is stacked, I think he should. Because being out all year, his draft is going to fall down because he hasn't played. And all these freshmen that are jumping in there, I said, I'd come back if I were him just to get an extra year and hope next year's draft class isn't quite as deep as this one.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Duke last year?
No, he was admitted to Duke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Academically. And so he went to FU, played for 2 years? 1 year?
1 or 2 years. I think he's actually a junior.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't familiar with Duke. I don't think. I probably have to sing for real.
I know going into the season, they were saying he's probably a top 10 NBA pick, but then hurt his foot or his leg, or I don't know exactly. And he's been out. He played like maybe 4 games, been out all year. And that really that's why you see A&M was such a short, small team, because they have no size. He was their size. So we were talking about it last night. I was just curious. I think if questionable, not just even that kid, but other players, if it's questionable on your draft stock, I think you need to, if you have a chance to come back, you might want to come back and try to increase your draft stock for next year, because this year's class is so stacked.
Yeah, for sure.
You can go to the NBA and then come back to college now. So,
well, they did kick that guy out now.
They did.
But this the thing though, Sean. It's kind of tricky, because wouldn't you rather not? Okay, you rather get picked high in the draft. I get that. I understand that. But if you don't, the opposite side is that you're going to a better organization. You're going to a team that's probably in the midst of winning. Got a culture established. So I don't think it's really a negative if you're not going high in the draft.
Maybe not, but then nowadays with college, let's throw this trick in there. If you go late in the first round to a team that's going to be competitive, how much does that pay versus how much can you make in college?
True. Facts. No, that's a fact.
Peterson.
If I'm going to get 2 million, yeah. If I'm going to get 2 million because I was drafted 10th, or $1 million because I'm drafted 20th, but I can stay in college at A&M for and get 3 million to play my senior year, I might as well stay.
Mm-hmm. I think Peterson's at $3 million a year at Kansas. Mm-hmm. Only playing half the time.
And he coach management. He come out of the game when he choose. Right. I seen a video. He hit a 3 and turned around and typed self, and self took him out. He like, take me to the game, man. That's called control. Hey. All right, hey, listen, this question came straight from a chat that I was in on my phone, and it got kind of heated. Who would you prefer, Kawhi, KD, or Giannis on your team right now? I had to ask this question on stream because everybody think they're right when really this is just a subjective question, and I just wanted to get y'all's thoughts of it.
I'll say Giannis.
I like Giannis. Yep. I'm saying Giannis too.
Well, my brother's gonna be real happy y'all just said that. It's a landslide. Hey, listen, I would say Giannis too, for real.
Just right now, gives you more. I think Giannis gives you more at this stage of their careers between those three. I think Giannis gives you more on the defensive end with the rebounding and the blocking and all that versus KD or Kawhi. And I think Giannis can still be a force scoring the ball. I think he's more of the all-around player at this stage of their careers. 10 years ago, I'd probably take Kawhi or KD. But as of right now, I'm taking Giannis.
Yeah. Man, go ahead, Milligram.
Talking about being at the end of their careers, I think Giannis has a few more years than Kawhi or KD left in them. There are a lot of guys in the league that need to be looking at hanging up their shoes and moving on from ball. Like you're good. You've done your time. You've done what you needed to do in the league. You've done what you needed to do. You've got more money than you know what to do with. Like it's time. You're sitting on the bench injured and in the training room more than you're on the court for some of these guys. And it's time. Bron's my age. It's okay to hang it up. It's Kawhi and KD gets hurt every third game. Like it's okay to say, you know what, I've done what I needed to do and end your career on a high note instead of ending your career with another torn Achilles or another torn knee or something. Like it's okay to hang up your shoes sometimes when it needs to happen.
Yeah. Kawhi been on a heater lately though. I ain't gonna lie. He been on a heater, I tell you. So I mean, you really can't go wrong if you got either one on your team, honestly though. But Giannis the only one that got an MVP out of these three too, I think. Am I mistaken? Did KD got an MVP? I think he got an MVP.
I thought KD got one.
Might have one. Hey, but did y'all catch any of the fights last night?
Nope.
Oh man. You had Ghost Martin fought Albright. That was the main undercard fight. And then you got Ryan Garcia. He fought Mario Burrows last night. I don't know. I'm into the boxing world. I was able to catch some of that fight.
Yeah. I don't watch boxing.
Yeah, Ryan tore Mario up last night, man.
If I'm watching that, I'm watching UFC.
Yeah. UFC. What you like the little more realistic street fight of it?
Right.
I watch 12th Avenue.
You said what?
Oh,
whatever happened at East 12th Avenue.
You are a part of the breakup crew.
Know
it. Hey, listen, we coming up on 45 minutes. I really ain't got no other topics. Y'all got anything else in the sports world y'all want to talk about?
No, it's 1-1 at the end of the second period between the USA and Canada for the gold medal in men's hockey.
Yeah.
That's
Who you think? Who you think gonna pull that out?
I'm hoping the USA because I mean, I haven't looked at Canadians roster, but I know like the USA, they got a blue jacket on the roster. At least Zach Rinsky. He's on the roster for the USA team, so really want the USA team to win it, give him a gold medal. Like I said, there could be a couple of blue jackets on the Canadian roster. I really haven't looked at it that close.
Yeah, I ain't been tapped into no hockey, but I am planning on going to a game. So let me know what you doing some ticket time. Man, cause I gotta tap in. I've been saying this for like 2 or 3 years now. And I even used to work downtown right next door to really we were setting up the cones and stuff. This was a little mess. We used to set up the cones when they had the games, the detour traffic and all that. Woo woo. But you used to always see the blue jacket guys coming out of their apartment building, walking straight over to the arena. So ever since then, I was like, man, I gotta tap into a hockey game. And it sucked that I don't drink no more because hockey and beer go together, bro.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised when you go there because it's actually such a quick-paced game that if you're not like trying to get a beer from the little beer vendor and have to go to the, in between the break, in between the periods, you're going to miss part of the stuff. It's just that fast-paced. I mean, when we go to the games, I'm normally one first period, one at the second period, and then I'm done by that time because the third period's on and I'm just sitting there watching. And where we sit, if you order from the beer vendor, it's like a waiter and they add like 15% gratuity to your tip, to your food order, even if it's just one beer.
You got them fancy seats.
Yeah. Club level.
Big money, Sean.
Season tickets. It's a fun experience for people in maybe watching this on the chat that don't. It's a very fun experience. My wife, she is into sports as I am, of course, but she got tickets to a game for my birthday a couple years ago, and we went, and she was just going because it was my birthday, and then she wound up loving it, and then we wound up buying season tickets, and now she loves to go to the games.
Yeah.
Columbus puts on a really good fan experience, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, what's up, Level Up Sports Team? Hey, my bad, I couldn't make the stream yesterday, man. We celebrated my daughter's birthday. Her birthday is actually tomorrow, but we went to the Winter Festival out in Polaris yesterday, and I had a ball. Got there about 10:30.
I live in Polaris. Where is the Winter Fest?
It was It was right by Dave and Buster's in this little thing
in the mall area.
Yeah. So they had like bouncy houses in there, just like little balloon. I don't even know what to call it. The balloons was just floating and blowing around. Go in there, play with the balloons, and giving out a whole bunch of candy. She got to meet Bluey, take pictures with Bluey. So it was a good little experience.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't even know about it, or I'd have met y'all over there.
Yeah,
brought my granddaughter with us.
She got all this candy, this cotton candy, man, this ring pops, everything, man. Hey, I had to say the little girl, she dropped the cupcake on the ground and tried to embarrass me and eat it off the ground. I'm like, get your tail over here. We eating off the floor, But she about to be the big two tomorrow, man. Time is flying.
Yeah. Happy birthday to we. Happy birthday, big two.
Yeah. It feel like just yesterday she was born, bro. Telling you.
Go
ahead.
That one you might hear behind me screaming. She turned 3 March 31st. And bro, let me tell you, that next year is amazing. They get so much more involved that next year. It's great.
I can't wait, man. Hey, listen, I'm about to take her to her first basketball game on Tuesday. So, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get her in the loop right now, Get her in the loop right now. We're gonna get her interest, pique her interest. She already don't like girl toys. She only like boy toys. She like the dinosaurs. She don't like the Barbie dolls.
Yep.
What you say, Telegram?
Start her thing, she'll turn out.
Yeah.
I'm working on mine. She knows. We were watching the race yesterday, and she straight up said, "Oh, it's NASCAR." She already knows. I already got her walking around with the Gig'em sign. I got her doing horns down. We're treating her right.
Hey, my last question though before we get off the screen. What is y'all's favorite sports movie of all time? Or y'all can give me a few.
In no particular order.
You cutting out, Milligram. You cutting out.
I have a top 3. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
For Love of the Game, which is a team out
Well, she cutting out again. Well, again, I can't hear what that one was.
She said for the love of the game, but she was cutting out.
which is the high school team out of California that won 300 in a row. Not me.
Oh, you're talking about the football movie about De La Salle.
Yeah, De La
Yeah.
Salle. And my Brian.
I didn't hear the third one. Did you hear it say?
Nah.
Brian's
Brian's song. Yeah, we're not going to get into that one. I don't want to cry on stream.
right.
You said Brian's song?
Yeah, you ain't ever seen that? Don't go watch it.
Nah, I gotta watch it, bro. I just
Bro,
watched
all right.
so I've been getting my girl familiar with some of these movies. So I had her watch the Mighty Ducks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Had her watch the Mighty Ducks the other day. So now she want to watch 2 and 3. You feel me? So we moving.
Right.
But what's your 3 though, Sean?
First off, real quick, if you watch Brian's song, stop by CVS and buy the bulk Kleenex. Okay, bro, I'm telling you, trust me.
Yep.
My top 3, first one, in no particular order, the movie Days of Thunder. Loved that movie. Obviously, Tom Cruise. It's about NASCAR racing. Fun fact about that movie, real quick, is that movie, Tom Cruise and the other drivers that were in the movie, the actors, were actually on track during an actual NASCAR race filming. So when you see like Dale Earnhardt Sr. and then pass them, that they're actually literally passing them. It's pretty cool. That one, not going to mention one that Level Up Sports mentioned, but it was one Coach Carter was good. Liked Field of Dreams, thought was a great baseball movie. And I'm going to have to give you 4, and the other 2 are baseball movies also. One is The Natural, the original version of The Natural with Robert Redford. And the other one is Bull Durham. Bull Durham is one of the funniest, great baseball movies I've seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really
So those would be mine.
all mine is basketball movies, but I'm gonna spread it out for real. My favorite basketball movie got to be Sunset Park. Sunset Park, yeah, that's a good one. Even though Loving Basketball is probably gonna be like the greatest of all time, in my opinion, but I go Sunset Park. I love the Wildcats. What's her name? What's that lady name in that movie on the Wildcats that was coaching the team? Goldie Hawn. Yeah, I love how Goldie Hawn acted in that movie. That's a good football movie to watch. Remember the Titans, sorry, that's probably one of the greatest football movies of all time. But like my personal favorite, I would have to go Wildcats. And then I love Major League. I watch Major League so much, I think I know all the words.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie with that. Major League was pretty good.
All right, listen, man. That's
You
the
want
last
to
question.
watch? If you want to watch a funny football movie, go watch Necessary Roughness.
Necessary Roughness.
Yeah, it's kind of about like it's quote unquote, it's University of North Texas. And they just have like no players, and they have to bring all these people on from all over the different areas, and they all come together. I think like Mean Joe Green's in it. There's just it's a funny movie.
It's a lot of great sports movies though. Like really,
Oh
he
yeah,
said Blue Chips. Blue Chips. That's a great one.
Coach Carter
Shaq.
was greatness.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Shaq,
a ton of them though. There's like Melissa mentioned for Love of the Game about De La Salle.
Yeah.
There's another one called Dallas Carter, which is about Dallas Carter High School and their football team that was one of the best, if not the best in the nation. Had like 9 D1 kids on it. Jesse Armstead wound up playing for the Giants, was on that team. There was like 9 D1 starters on the defense. Yeah, they were nasty. And then they were ruled ineligible. Then they weren't. Then they were. Then they weren't. Then they won state, and they told them they were ineligible, so they took it away. And then all of them wound up going to prison, except for like 2 of them for robbing stuff. It's a pretty good movie, though. I mean, seriously. Odell Beckham Jr.'s dad was actually in that movie because he was on the team one of the teams Carter beat. So,
there's one about the UTEP basketball team.
Yeah, I think was that the one that played Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played brought his team down. It was the first white versus black game.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it, but it was a great movie as well.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that one either, but I do remember. I do remember that. We Are Marshall is another good one. If you haven't seen that one will have you crying too.
There's one, and I just watched it a couple of years ago, about a football player from Arkansas at University of Arkansas, and they give an award because of his glasses. And one of our players, when I was in North Carolina 10 years ago, got that award. So I ended up watching the movie, and that was really good too. It was a great story.
Yeah, that was the kid, I believe, that was killed in a car wreck.
Yeah.
He was actually from the hometown Harrison, Arkansas, where my mother lives. So,
see, y'all like the emotional sports movies. I could tell.
I like all kinds. I like the funny major leagues. I like the Caddyshack.
Give me Air Bud, bro.
Yeah, get Air Bud, The Longest Yard, things like that. The funny stuff, but I also like the ones that are. I mean, those are true stories, though. Those are going to be the more emotional. Brian's Song's a true story.
Yeah, you hip to hurricane season?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, hurricane season about a high school basketball team, and they went through Hurricane Katrina. It's based on a true story. It's a good watch. You should watch it. They ended up going to the state finals, even though they had to piece together their team. A lot of them was homeless, and so that's a good watch too. That's one of my favorites of all time too.
Yeah, you're always going to find out with the true stories are going to be more emotional based.
Yeah, but Brian's Song will wreck you.
Oh yeah,
absolutely wreck you.
Yeah, it will.
I'm gonna watch it too, and if it don't wreck me, I'm gonna hunt you down this time, Melissa.
Oh, it'll wreck you. What's there's one about what's Texas's stadium named? The Coach Texas Stadium's named after
Darrell Royal.
Yeah, there's a movie about Royal and a quarterback. Maybe I wish Brown were on here.
Probably. I'd have to go look that up. I'm not too keen. We need Rob or Doug to jump on. I'm not too keen on the University of Texas stuff.
Yeah, that was a good movie though.
There's just a ton of them. There's a movie out there called, I'd have to look the name up and I'll have to shoot it over to you. But it's about it's a high school team in Texas, a football team, and it's like a bunch of orphans. And how they all come together from different, background. And it's pretty crazy how they put the team together and all this stuff. Pretty good story. And it's a true story too. So I like the true story sports movies. They're more, I do like a good
I do too.
Don't get me wrong.
Thanks. Check out Hurricane Season. You'll like that one, Sean.
Yeah, I'll look that one up. For sure and check it out. My wife likes a lot. There's one called Last 22. It's about a stud football player who loses his eyesight and becomes like the center at one point, and then they put him in it full. That's a good movie. So there's just a bunch of them. You could do a whole show on sports movies.
Facts. All right, we at our hour mark. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about?
It's almost March.
Yeah, March Madness. The tournament is about to start too, man. My nephew been out here balling. You hear me? He been balling. Their last regular season game is on Tuesday. That's the game I'm taking my daughter to. The first game.
We think we got 2 weeks left in the regular season.
Yep.
Nice. In college.
Yeah, in college. We got 2 weeks left in the regular season.
Let me give some love out to my friend Nolan Smith's Tennessee State Tigers, who are currently number 1 in the Ohio Valley Conference and are on, I think, a 5 or 6 game winning streak. He's completely turned that program around, so I'm super proud of him.
Nolan was a dog, man. He was a dog. I've been watching the J. Cole tour on YouTube, and he stopped in Tennessee State. They ran some 5-on-5. Nolan was out there still killing. Looked like he could still go. But all right, man. I appreciate y'all for joining the stream. If you in the chat, please like, comment, subscribe. All the channels are scrolling down at the bottom. Thank you, Milligram, for showing up. Hey, y'all gonna start seeing a stable of Milligram because I'll be on her tail at work. Like, hey, Milligram, you the woman talent. You got to show up, So thank you, Milligram, for showing up.
You do need some looks on the show.
SEC Sean, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good rest of Sunday.
I just know that if we play Duke in anything and we lose, A&M, I'm not joining if Melissa's on.
Watch out.
Now, if we win, I'll join.
Nah, facts.
I'll take my lumps when need be.
Yeah. But all right, hey, we appreciate everybody, man. It's the WTP Sports Dudes. Y'all know what we say when we out. Peace.
Peace.